Addiction is hard and you don't want to be in it. You don't want to have ever done it. I wish I never smoked. I wish I never did this. I have kids, two daughters, and they were young. They're older now, but they would always want me to quit. It was a real hard, it put a lot of weight on me. Like, I need to quit. I need to quit. I need to quit. And I just didn't know how to do it or what to do. And anyone that's watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about. You just feel stuck. And so the night that I did it, did my, whatever that last ritual is, just was like very overwhelming, very powerful. And like, obviously it worked. So it wasn't like perfect every day, but with the program, you have the tools to really do it and do it right. And I'm so proud of myself. And I've told my doctor about it. She's so happy. She wrote down what it is, told some of her other patients about it because it's just that good.
Hi, everyone. This is Nassia Davos, and welcome to this episode of Ask an X. Every Ask an X episode features an inspiring CBQ program member who broke up with destructive habits and found freedom. The ex I have with me today quit smoking with a CBQ Nicotine Freedom Program, and she's here to tell you how she did it. Please welcome Jana Cole. Jana, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on quitting smoking over 4 years ago.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I'm really honored to meet you and to be on the show, or on the episode. Thank you.
I'm really excited to have you here because 4 years of quitting smoking, 4 years of freedom. And like you were telling me a little bit before, that it feels like something in the past by now. It felt so important at the time, but now it feels like a thing of the past. And one of the things you had shared with me was by far one of the most powerful things I've done in my life is completing the CBQ program. Why was this so important to you?
That's going to get me a little emotional now.
Oh,
It
take
just,
your time.
addiction is hard and you don't want to be in it. You don't want to have ever done it. I wish I never smoked. I wish I never did this. I have kids, two daughters, and they were young. They're older now, but they would always want me to quit. It was a real hard, it put a lot of weight on me. Like, I need to quit. I need to quit. I need to quit. And I just didn't know how to do it or what to do. And anyone that's watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about. You just feel stuck. And so the night that I did it, did my, whatever that last ritual is, just was like very overwhelming, very powerful. And like, um, obviously it worked. So it wasn't like perfect every day, but with the program, you have the tools to really do it and do it right. And I'm so proud of myself. And I've told my doctor about it. She's so happy. She wrote down what it is, told some of her other patients about it because it's just that good, and it doesn't, a lot of people I know quit smoking, but they're doing nicotine. And I'm actually proud to say that I'm not addicted to nicotine and I don't do any of it. So I think that's really important too, not to go from one thing to another. Um, so yeah, it was a powerful night and it was a good night. Yeah, it's life changing to not be, have that addiction weighing on you.
Yeah, the health anxiety, the
Hmm.
guilt, the control it
Oh,
has over you, right?
yep. The guilt is super bad for your family and kids and anybody around you like that doesn't smoke. They don't get it and they're like, you're gonna die. And it's just really sad. It's sad. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely free now for sure.
It is an incredible accomplishment. And before you had that important quit date, that was 21 October 2021.
10, 21,
Remind
21.
the,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. How long were you a smoker? Did you try to quit before? What was your habit like?
So I was a smoker. I started smoking when I was 15, just to kind of be, like my older brother smoked and everybody around me, not my mom, but or my stepdad, but like my siblings and people at school. So we thought, hey, we need to, buck the system and think we're cool, I guess. And we like the taste of it. We said we like the taste of it. We're like, ooh, this is fun. And you hold your breath and you get lightheaded, and that's not really fun. So that it was just stupidity in the beginning, young. And then it turns into you really can't get out of it, and it just consumes you. And I was a pretty heavy smoker. um I have anxiety and depression, but anxiety, I find a lot of people that have anxiety smoke, which is like does the opposite that you think it does to help you. But the more you're anxious, the more you smoke, and then you're just, it's like a cycle. It's so vicious. So I had a lot of that throughout my life. So it was like 31 years that I smoked in total. And that's a long time. That's a long time. And towards the end, I will say, kind of funny, going through the program, at the end, I actually my this might help someone. My smoking actually ramped up towards that last day. And I know, people are like, oh, great, I don't even want to smoke now. And I'm like, oh no, I smoked double towards the end of the program because I was that nervous about it. And it really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. That's the whole thing. It wasn't bad like you think it's going to be. You know what I mean? So I would say heavy smoker for sure. 2 packs, 3 packs a day for sure. For a long
Wow,
time. Yeah.
for 31 years, that is a long time. That is
Yeah.
a strong
Very long.
addiction.
Very. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
well, thank you for sharing that. And that you had a different experience before your quit date. You went the opposite side. Because sometimes something inside of us, our addiction or
Mhm.
fear, makes us rebel and makes
The
us
fear.
smoke
Yeah.
more, which
Yeah,
is
it was like, come
okay.
on. Yeah, I just don't, because I was so worried, and I see people on the Facebook group so worried about doing it perfectly. And I was the same way. I'm a type A personality, perfectionist. And so I was like, I need to do this program perfectly. And if it doesn't feel perfect, or the way I've saw other people do it, where they're like smoking less at the end. I did smoke less through the program, but then it was like towards the end, I was like, oh boy. And I thought it's not going to work, but it did work. It was just fear. That's all it was. That's all it
Mhm.
was. So, and I think one of the most powerful things, parts of the program, is learning that we think these cigarettes are like our friends and they're the only thing with us. And like, it's so gross to think that way, but that's like how we all think. And like, it helps us. And what are we going to do without it? And it's just such a gimmick. You know what I mean? It's just it's the addiction. So, anyway, yeah.
Perfectly said. And that's the illusion of addiction. You're so right. We start thinking that it is our friend and we assign so many powers and value
I
to that
know the
thing that has
power.
zero IQ.
I know, I know, I know. I love that. Yeah. Zero IQ doesn't help you. Yeah, I remember all those things about the program. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as because you mentioned you're a perfectionist,
Yeah.
how did you grapple with that and how did you manage that while doing the program?
So I remember thinking, I'm not doing it right. And I see the exact same thing. People are doing the exact same thing. Like throughout, I would go on there and ask a question like, well, I don't know what mind power is versus this power. And I don't know what this is versus that. And I don't know if I was just like freaking out basically. And, so, and then I thought it had to go exactly a certain way. Like it had to be that you smoked this much less this day, that, you know what I mean? And really that counting your cigarettes, it's just a guide to be like, when are you wanting cigarettes? Why are you wanting them? You know what I mean? It isn't like you better do this or you're not going to be able to quit smoking if you don't cut down every day. I don't know if that answers your question, but um,
It
it was.
does, and it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah, so I'm really big into psychology, and so this program, I never heard about it until I wanted to quit smoking, like got serious, and was doing research, and then it came onto your free videos on YouTube, and I'm like, this is crazy, like this is so my thing, you know what I mean? And it was a lot. I mean, you have to do a lot of thinking and reflecting and writing down, and but I like that sort of thing, so it was just like it just made sense, you know. And So yeah, the program was great.
And you're free, which is all
I
that
know.
matters.
And now it's like, whatever. And yeah, I want people to know that just because you did something in the past, even for 31 years, doesn't mean that's who you are or who you need to be or who you'll always be. And I think we all think that. I'm a smoker. Call yourself a smoker. No, I just smoke. I'm always going to smoke. And that mindset needs to, if you just keep telling yourself, you have to switch your mindset, which is what the neurolinguistic part of it, which I think is so cool. And visualizing yourself in different ways. And um, yeah, it's just so cool. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, you said it perfectly. And apart from the process and the strategy, the most important is the internal journey of what's happening and how we change day by day. And I love that you said that you just allowed yourself to go through the process, not have to do everything perfectly. You really used everything to learn, to go deeper, to release parts of smoking that had hold in
Yeah.
your mind and your life. And it was not about being lost on the step doing it perfectly, but on the meaning of what this step is supposed to give you. So
Yeah,
that's
you start going into that and you're like, oh, I'm not doing it right. And then you back up. You know what I mean? So hopefully you can recognize if you're doing that and it does, you still can make it even if you're not doing it exactly the way you think it needs to be done, for sure. Um, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Do you remember how long it took you to complete the program? I know it's been a
I
long time, but
wish
I'm just
I
curious.
wish I wish I did. I know it was, was it a 30-day like program? I don't remember exactly now,
It
but
was a 12-day program.
oh, okay. I do remember this. I will admit this, that my first quit date, I told everyone, went through everything, and then I didn't do it. No, I'm gonna do it next, I think it was next week or in 2 weeks, and then I did it. So I still was scared and like did all that hemming and hawing around um and I missed my first quit date. So I did it though then 2 weeks later. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's also great because, and tell me if that connects with you. In the moment, it feels like, am I ever going to do it? I have doubts. Is this going to happen for me? But
Yes.
once you keep moving through it and you complete the process and you look back, it feels like, oh, I just did it. But in the moment,
Yes. It's
it's what
scary.
you were saying before. It felt a big thing.
Yeah,
And
it's felt a big thing. It feels scary when you're going through it. You're like, I'm not, and I would watch all the ask and X's and I'd be like, okay, I wish that was me. I don't know how they did it. You know what I mean? Like your mind plays these tricks on you because it doesn't understand change, it doesn't like change, and that nicotine, basically, like you say, is hijacked your brain, and your lizard part of your brain just wants to do what you've been doing for the past 30 years, you know? So it was so cool to like learn all the stuff I learned from you. You don't have to be, just because you were once something, it doesn't mean that's who you are forever. And just really insightful, helpful things, that you had in the program. So
yeah, and how incredible is it that you're watching these Connect interviews and
I
now 4 years later you you're doing this and
I
you're sharing gems, so
I
helpful things.
know. I secretly always wanted to be on Ask an X, and I'm like, I just don't know if I'll ever be on Ask an X. And then I was like, oh wow, this is like a dream. Yeah. So um I wish I had like a magic thing to say, but it's just they just need to listen to what the program is saying, listen to what you're saying. Don't get hung up on being perfect. I missed my first quit date. Okay, nobody cares. Move on. But there was also this big thing back then of just jump, right? Like you need to just jump because we're like through the program, you're inching your way up to the cliff. You're like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And if you just jump, it will work. You know what I mean? It's just getting through that, getting to jump, I guess. So yeah,
Yes, that's great advice because often, and I think this applies to everything in life, our
yes,
fear is the highest just before we jump, whatever it
yeah,
is we need to do. Once we jump, then the fear goes away and goes away and goes away. And yes, the program is about preparation, but we also have to jump, like you said, and trust that
Yep,
the
trust.
version, yeah, us, that the version of ourselves that is a non-smoker, because we're all born to be smoke-free, will
Yes.
shine through when we allow ourselves
Yeah.
to be a non-smoker.
Yes. And even if you can't remember yourself as a non-smoker or because you were a kid or like it had been that long, I remember saying to myself over and over, you're not born smoking, you're not born drinking, you're not born doing drugs. Not that I did all that, but like you're not born eating massive amounts of sugar. Well, maybe I guess breast milk, but you know what I mean? You're not born with these things. So the average person doesn't do them. You shouldn't be doing them. It's a destructive behavior, you know, that sort of thing. But it did help me to think you're not born like this. This isn't who you are, you know, it's just something that you did or do at that time. You know what I mean? Because I think we have a lot of people that are addicted have, like you said, shame, guilt, low self-esteem. It just weighs on you every single day, you know, especially smoking because you do it so often that it's always like, I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this. And it's just bad news, you know, for your psyche.
Above everything, in my opinion. Yes, our health, but it steals away our confidence every single day.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Mhm. And if you can remember, what is something you were always afraid of when you were thinking about quitting smoking? And how did that fear play out after you quit?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm sure there's more than one, but I do remember um, saying, I'm going to be bored. I'm not going to know what to do because I work from home. So I'm home 24/7, right? And what am I going to do? Because all this time, you know, we think we're bored, smoking fills it. No, it doesn't. And so when I was quitting, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come up with all these things to have to do, like puzzles, like those Sudoku puzzles and like crosswords, and I'm gonna do all this and that, and to keep my mind like off of it. I didn't even do one of those things. Like it just, I can't explain when you wake up the next morning, because I did it at night. When you wake up the next morning, you, it's not, I'm not saying it's magic because it's not magic at all. It's just different. Like you just are different. You know what I mean? And yes, you have to remind yourself every second during those first few months or year. We don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. We used to do that, but we don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying I didn't have cravings or I didn't have things come in my mind, but it's just a different feeling. So anyway, I thought I was going to need all this stuff, like learn to crochet and all this stuff I would need to be doing. And I just didn't do any of it. I didn't need to do any of it.
Yeah. And you were a smoker for,
A
you
long
used
time.
to smoke for 31 years and 2 to 3 packs a day. How
Yes.
did you experience the cravings? Because you said it was completely different. So, how did you experience the cravings? How did they come to you?
So it would be this feeling, oh, it's hard to describe. It's sort of like a feeling of like just like inside, like you're just like all jacked up inside, I guess. And um sometimes though it actually was a good feeling. I don't know why it was a good feeling. Like sometimes it was like, okay, we're getting through this. Like we have a signal, it's a craving, our body feels crazy, we're a little jacked up because of it, and we're gonna get through this. And I would do a lot of walks and a lot of breathing, a lot of walks to get that like, you know, because smoking does that. You're breathing wrong all the time, but the walking helped. Um, I don't know, just with the breathing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was super helpful. I forgot what did you ask? I'm sorry. No, I forgot what I was saying.
How did you experience the cravings?
Oh
And you
yeah.
said sometimes it
So
was a, yeah,
yeah, so it almost is like I'm gonna conquer this, almost like a high when you would get a craving. Like I know that sounds so weird, like you wanted a craving, right? Because you're like, okay, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna walk, we're gonna run, we're gonna cry, we're gonna whatever we're gonna do. And then it goes away. And then you do the next one. And then when the cravings go away, you're kind of just like, oh, okay, now what do you know what I mean? Like they almost helped, if that makes sense, you know? Um, so yeah, and then I remember after like a couple years, the only time I would think about smoking is if maybe like the season changed and it was summer, people were outside smoking, drinking, like how I remember it used to be, you know what I mean? Every change of something or like Christmas or anything like that, my mind would go, "Ooh, remember smoking? You used to smoke." And I would be like, "Yeah, but we don't do that anymore." You know what I mean? And I was even around smokers too. So it works. I mean, it's powerful enough that I smelled it and I actually a little bit feel bad for people that still smoke. Do you know what I mean? You're like caught on that trap, you know, because I know how hard it is. But um yeah,
Yeah, and what you're describing, because there is a difference, and I'm sure you have experienced this, where we're craving and we're suffering and we're losing it, and it's smoke or die moments. And there are cravings that are totally different, that are just reminders of what our past self used to do in
yes,
certain situations. So they're almost not even cravings. I call them memories, smoking memories. And every
yeah.
time we're able to pass through a memory, we're rewiring our brain deeper and deeper. And the fact that you had those memories after 31 years of smoking 2 to 3 packs a day, this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's something. It really is, to be quite honest. Like you said, when you're a smoker and you have cravings, you're like not gonna you're like, if I don't smoke now, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out. And like after doing the program, something switches and it's just like you're not gonna freak out. I'm gonna go take a walk, I'm gonna do this, and it's just like you're just gonna do something else. You know what I mean? Um, I didn't drink a lot, but I also stopped drinking too because it wasn't fun anymore. I mean, it just was weird. I don't know. So I think a lot of things happen maybe when you quit one thing, a lot of things other bad habits sort of go by the wayside as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
taking
on
care
the
of
same
myself
day,
more.
good for you. That's amazing. So on the same day, you quit alcohol?
Yeah, not that I was a big drinker, but
Yeah.
I would always drink when I smoked, and which okay, no, not all day I was drinking, but like the weekends and um ugh, yeah, I can't even imagine drinking now even or smoking or any of it. Ugh, yeah. But back
So there
then
was
it was
more of
like my
a,
life.
yeah. And so quitting smoking and the process of you changing your mind, taking care of yourself, this was a catalyst. And you're like, I'm just gonna have a better Jana.
Yeah. And the one thing I always thought, and I think it might have been one of the lessons too, it's hard to remember, is I don't remember how it went, but it was something that you always think is stopping you from doing something. It was always like, I want to get healthy, but I can't because I smoke. That always was like the major thing. I'll never be healthy because you can't really be healthy and smoke. It's just you just can't do it. Okay. You can work out, eat perfect, run, whatever, but if you're a smoker, it's not. It's opposite. So that when that was gone, that was just such a huge boost of self-esteem that I don't have to say, oh, I can actually maybe get healthy now for real. You know what I mean? Because I don't smoke. So that was really cool. Really cool.
Wow. So this whole process was transformational and allowed you to step
Absolutely.
into a new part of your life, right?
Absolutely. 100%. And I don't even think about cigarettes. I don't even, it's just not part of my existence, anymore, which is crazy and awesome
That's the goal. That's the goal. And
for
you
sure.
also did the process. You were really open to it. And I think that's very important to highlight. You really
Yes.
opened your mind and your heart to everything that was happening. So you allowed yourself to change.
Yes, for sure. It is definitely like me doing it. But the tools are there. I think so many people just don't know, even with mental health in general, where do you go to get help or where do you go to learn these things or what to say to yourself now? things like that. I didn't even know that, being a big person of psychology and studying it in college. I didn't even know some of the things that I was taught through the program. You know what I mean? So it's really awesome. Really awesome. And it can be used for other things, eating, drinking. I mean, it can be used for everything. It's something I think that everyone needs to know. Like, the past version of yourself doesn't mean it's who you're destined to be forever and you're stuck forever, you know? Um, and you can change and you can see yourself as a non-smoker, see yourself as, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess I do remember a lot more than I thought about the
Yeah,
program.
it's inside you,
Yeah.
and it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
And what you said is really the heart of it. Just because you have been doing something for decades doesn't mean you cannot do something else tomorrow and the next decades.
Mm-hmm.
Past does
Exactly.
not equal the future. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think we get stuck in that, like, oh, I'm just this person. I'm just I have an addictive personality. That was something too. Like, I just am like that. No, I'm not. I'm not, so
Yeah.
something I did. That's it.
Yeah. It's what we do, not who we are. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And since quitting smoking, because you mentioned you have anxiety and depression, how
Mhm.
has quitting smoking affected, if it has affected your mental health?
Oh, 100%. And I kind of remember when I started smoking, like when I was a teenager, that's obviously a hard time. You're going through, all the changes, being a teenager and all that is a hard time. And I remember smoking a lot more then. And oh, it makes you feel like crap. Your body, you just feel so bad. And I didn't know that it was the smoking. I just didn't know. When you don't have that stuff going through your body, and it's a lot better. It's a lot better. And I'm not saying that I didn't eat sugar and do bad things this whole 4 years, because I did. I mean, I gained some weight probably like 3 years after I quit smoking, which is funny, right? You think, so I don't know that it was related to the not smoking, but I did eat sugar, gain weight like 3 years in, and now I'm back to losing weight and exercise and sleeping good and all that kind of stuff. So I just don't want people to think it was like perfect, but I don't know if that was quitting smoking 3 years later, it could have just been me. But anyway, you go through ups and downs, right?
3 years, yeah, it's life. I mean, 3 years after
Yep.
quitting smoking, it's not about quitting smoking, but also
Right.
life is life.
Still have struggles. Yep.
Yeah, and we have different ways of coping, and every time we cope in a way that we don't like, this is an invitation to go deeper and heal another part of
They're
ourselves, and that's the journey.
perfect. Yes, you're exactly right. Yeah, I'm glad I brought that up. It wasn't about the 3 years when I started eating a lot of sugar. It wasn't about the smoking at that point. It was just about life. And it just was another hurdle. So yeah, you're right. And I might go through other ones, but I can use the tools that I learned for quitting smoking for those things. You know what I mean? To help me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And since quitting smoking, you're feeling better overall with anxiety and depression.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't had depression in a long time, but I did when I was younger. But the anxiety
That's
is
great.
tenfold way better, because we all thought as smokers, or we told ourselves, oh, the smoking helps you relax. But no, it's like the opposite. It's like a stimulant, right? And I didn't know there is one weird thing now. So I quit in end of October, which is when we have daylight savings time. So end of October, beginning of November is when it starts to get dark at like 4:30 p.m., 5:30. It's like I noticed when I quit nicotine, it's the nicotine. I was ready to go to bed at like 7 p.m. And uh, I'll say that not being jacked up on nicotine and whatever else, your sleeping does change. I know it does. It's better, but I also remember just going to bed a lot earlier, falling asleep on the couch a lot earlier. So that is something kind of weird, but whatever. If I needed it, I needed it. But I do remember that being kind of like a weird thing.
Yeah. Also, after years of smoking, after quitting smoking, our body starts healing. And
Yep.
this healing takes a lot of energy. So on top of the early
Yep.
nights and all that,
But
which is
it's funny,
necessary.
I didn't feel sick. I didn't want to throw
Mhm.
up. I didn't like withdrawals were not what like you think they are. And
Tell me about this, please. Yes.
I haven't really quit before, maybe like a little bit, but um not really. And wasn't in the right mindset anyway, obviously, because I went back to it. It was like holding on for dear life to try to quit. You know what I mean? Like the willpower thing, which didn't ever work. So this time, it yeah, it nothing. I smoked like probably the night before like 3 packs of cigarettes that day and night,
Wow.
and did not feel sick, did not feel, I didn't have anything. All I remember is sometimes those cravings and then being like, all right, let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna get through this. It just wasn't anything eventful. I didn't cough. I didn't cough at all. Like I didn't have any of that. It was really weird. So it's really not dangerous or you're going to be sick and down. And no, not at all. Zero.
That's very encouraging because it's
Yeah.
true as well. Very often we make the withdrawal in our mind like this horrible monster. And as a result of this, we actually experience it. So, with the right
Yep.
preparation, it's not necessary to have that experience. That's for sure.
A
And
hundred
Jana,
percent.
oh, you're sharing amazing advice. I love it.
Oh, good.
Thank you so
Yeah. And
much.
yeah, absolutely. Anything I can do for sure. It's an incredible program.
And what would you say quitting smoking taught you?
Oh, that I can do hard things because I think in my mind, I made it up as the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't think that's true. I think it just felt like that because addiction is crazy, and so deep. Um, but I feel like I can do anything. Like I remember, okay, I'm scared of like a lot of things. So I was in this CT scan. In fact, my doctor is now letting me do CTs of my chest yearly just to make sure, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
To keep an eye on my lungs because of how much I smoked and how long. So I remember going in there and I'm like, I cannot do this. Like I'm gonna be claustrophobic. Like I already have anxiety. Like the CT machine is not, I'm not doing it. And I just like, I think I started crying and like just carrying on and having a fit. And then finally, I just was like, close my eyes and I said, go. And I said in my head, like over and over, if I quit smoking, I can do this. It was like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? I don't know. So that comes to my head. If I can quit smoking, I can do this a lot. You know what I mean? So it's awesome.
That's
It
very
taught me I can
empowering.
do pretty much anything. Yeah, for sure. But you gotta not have the nicotine. I can't stress that enough. Do not go to those nicotine pouches. Do not go to anything. You need to get that out of your system.
Yes. The goal is
Mhm.
not just to quit smoking. The goal is to
Yep.
have freedom and
From
uh, from nicotine, from addiction. Yeah. To have
because
freedom, mental freedom.
the, those little things that you can put in your mouth or whatever, that becomes the same as a cigarette. You're over and over looking for them. Where are they? I need them, but it's like the same thing. It's just the same thing. And I know because I tried to vape thinking that was going to help. No, that it's just,
Yeah.
it's just the same thing, so
Yeah. That's a great point. It is an addiction.
yeah, it's
And
heavy.
it's unfortunately it's being given, especially to a lot of young people
Yeah.
nowadays, as an enhancer and a way to a better alternative, but it's not. It's addiction. And when we're
Mm-mm.
addicted to nicotine, when we take nicotine, it does not enhance our brain. We just develop tolerance, and then we need it to feel normal. And that's how all
More,
addiction
more.
works. And
And
more. Exactly.
that's how I got up to 3 packs, 2 packs, because it was like I just needed more, 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 more. And
Yeah.
I feel really, I feel for people that have like drug and alcohol, even like major food addictions. Like I can't believe all I have is the smoking. I mean, that sounds weird to say, but I couldn't imagine having the other addictions withdrawals could kill you, or you know what I mean? Like really scary, big things could happen. And smoking is just not like that. It's just not that hard. It's not like that. But I'm grateful to never have had those other addictions because they're hard. I'm sure they're horrible. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I love your message, which is about freedom from addiction. It's not about replacing one thing with the other. Focus on the
mhm,
real problem, which is to be free. Um,
exactly.
and Jana, what advice, last question, what advice
Okay.
would you have to someone who has been smoking for a long time, does not believe it's possible, they feel stuck, they feel I am the exception. All these people can do it, but I cannot do
Always.
it.
Yep. You always feel like you're the one person that's not going to be able to do it, right? So it's just to just go through the program and just take that jump. Just jump. Like that's it. At the end, just jump off. Just jump. And yeah, just jump. It's not perfect, but you can do it. I know. I know anyone can.
Love it. So jump and trust.
Jump.
We said before.
Yes.
Jump and
Yes.
trust.
Yes. And saying things that you learn, that we don't do this anymore. I wasn't born doing this. Those are the very helpful things, especially in the beginning, for sure.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Jana,
Yeah,
wow. Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring journey and your advice. I am sure that your story will help many other people. Truly, you shared gems that are
I hope
very
so.
helpful. Yes. And to everyone watching, please leave a comment below and let Jana and I know what you're taking away from her story, her journey, her experience that can help you in yours. We're looking
Yes, yes.
forward to reading your comments.
Thank you so much, Nasi. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time, for being so open and honest and sharing your journey. That was incredible.
Sure. Thank you.